Okay, so let's start with the our bug bounty hunting session. So basically in this session you are going to learn about how to start your bug bounty hunting in the 2025. So here you are going to learn about bug bounty topics like what is the basic of the bug bounty. Okay, let me try to increase it. Okay, so bug bounty basics, OWASP top 10 vulnerability and the tools, bug suite and the recon process. Okay, so about me, so myself Hemant Patidar, I am the founder and CTO of the SoloSecurity, professional penetration tester. I know like I used to do infrastructure pen testing, web pen testing, mobile API and networks. Okay, so certifications which I have done is CEH Master, that is Certified Ethical Hacker from EC Council, then ECPPT V2, EWPTX V2, EJPT. Okay, and couple of other certifications I have done. I also hold all-time top 10 on Yogosha. I got Hall of Fame from Google, Apple, Netflix, and many more. Apart from that, I have received the Researcher of the Month from the Department of Defense for reporting multiple critical vulnerabilities. Around 30 vulnerabilities I have reported in a month, where 3 critical vulnerabilities I have reported, including admin takeover on the Department of Defense websites. Okay. Apart from that, I am a SME on the Hack the Box and a CTF player as well. Got listed in the NCII PC newsletter as top 15 researcher. I have experience of around 6 months in the penetration testing, bug bounty hunting and training. Okay, so basically today we are going to learn about bug bounty. Okay, so what is bug bounty? So basically the IT team at many organization doesn't have enough time. So you guys also know, right, like we have different organization and they don't have much time to think beyond the routine in order to identify and mitigate their bugs in their system. So what basically they do, they reach out to the private individuals for the help. This is called bug bounty. So basically what will happen, they will make some kind of program policies or over their websites, and it might be possible that they go to the third party programs, like you know, right, Bugcrowd and HackerOne. So basically they reach out to those programs and they will pay, like it's possible that they will pay some amount to them, and then they will launch their program on those particular platforms. Okay, so any bug hunters use his tools to break into those systems, write a vulnerability report to the organization who issued the bounty, and then get paid or rewarded. Okay, so that is called the bug bounty. Now understanding the concept of the bug bounty. Okay, so basically what every companies wants to be secure in their in their apps to be secure. Okay, but sometimes they having some hidden problems, we called them as bugs, so that hacker can use to steal data or cause harm in the sense it might be from the like very low harm to some critical harm. Okay, so instead of waiting for bad hackers to find this bug, what company will do is company ask a good hacker to search for those bugs first, and then the good hacker are called bug bounty hunters. If they find a bug and if they report it, they get some reward. It might be a monetary reward, it might be some kind of certificate, or maybe a hall of fame. Okay, so let's start with OWASP top 10. So basically the OWASP top 10 is a standard awareness document for developer and web application security. It represents a broad consequences about the most critical security risks to the web application, globally recognized by developers as the first step towards secure coding. Okay, so basically OWASP has made a category of top 10. So if you can see here the difference, here is the category of 2013, like you can see here: injection, broken authentication issues, cross-site scripting issues, insecure direct object reference, which is called as IDOR, then security misconfiguration, sensitive data exposure, and throughout year by year it used to change also, okay, based on the number of vulnerability reported by the researchers, okay. So here you can see the data of 2013 to 17, and then again it got changed from 2017 to 21. So here you can see the latest OWASP top 10, okay. So basically it's a broken access control is on number 1. Then we have cryptographic failure. Cryptographic failure is nothing but like sensitive data exposure. So basically they renamed it as cryptographic failures. Then we have injection, like cross-site scripting, SQL and all, okay. Insecure design, so we have a new category you can see here, that is called insecure design. Then security misconfiguration, vulnerable and outdated components, like version issue might be the vulnerable version they might be using of sub particular service software or something, okay. Identification and authentication failures, software and data integrity failures, security login and monitoring failures, server side, and then we have SSRF, that is server side request forgery, okay. So let's explore some bug bounty programs and platforms, okay. So here you can see here I have put in the 4 platforms. So bug bounty platforms are the website where companies run bug bounty program. Hackers, that is called the bug hunter, uses this platform to find security bugs and report them in exchange for the reward. So here we have 4 popular platforms, that is HackerOne, Bugcrowd, Synac, Red Team and the Yogosha. So here what is the key major difference here is, if you see, the Bugcrowd and HackerOne are the public based program, okay. So anybody can go on it and can make an account and see the different programs, okay, different companies programs, and report them the bugs, okay. Now we have Synac and Yogosha, which are invitation based programs, okay. So basically either you are invited here, either you applied here, so that you have to pass some kind of test and then only you can join this particular platform. So we can call them as a private platform, okay. Now let me show you some programs. Okay, so let's go to Bugcrowd. So you can see here hackers, right? So you can click on start hacking and you can create your account on this particular platform, okay. Free of cost you can create here. Then let's see some programs. Okay, so here you can see that we have lots of program on the Bugcrowd. Apart from this program, we do have some private programs, okay. Like consider once you make an account on this particular platform, you report some vulnerabilities. After getting some good reputation, they will automatically invite you to the more programs, okay. So let's go to any one program. These are all public programs, and if you can see here, we have wide range of programs which offers different bounty range. And apart from that, we do have some programs which give only kudos, okay, not the reward, okay. Okay, so let's open any 1 or 2 program and let me explain you. Okay, so here you can see that we do have this program, that is Vox bug bounty program. Here is the scope rating. Then we have this testing period is ongoing. Sometime it may be on the hold or the pause, okay. Then we have status in progress. So here you can see the details, that is ratings and rewards, like for which vulnerability how much maximum reward can be awarded, okay. So here they have like P1, which is remote code execution, and they might award $10,000. So for different bugs they have mentioned the range, Okay, so yeah, here you can see here for P1, this is the reward range. For P2 we have from $3,000 to $4,000. For P3, if you find any vulnerability like in the P3 severity, you will get around $600 to $1,200. Okay, and similarly for P4 you can see here, and here we do have the scope. Okay, so basically what is scope? See, in this particular short session I won't be able to explain everything in the deep, but I will try to explain you in the layman term. Okay, like what exactly is bug bounty, how you can find the programs. Okay, and then we'll see some 2-3 bugs also on the live sites. Okay, so here we can see that the scope is mentioned, like you can go and hunt on that particular vox.io. Here you can see that they didn't mention any subdomains. Okay, so basically we'll see what is subdomain also. So if you see here, like consider we have vox.io, so there might be possible that we do have like shop.vox.io. so basically this is called as subdomain. Okay, that shop is the subdomain of vox.io. so basically here they have mentioned the API, they mention, and the main domain, and apart from that we do have Android and iOS application. Okay, so which is in the scope. So this is the scope of this particular program. Some program might be having the wildcard subdomain. Wildcard means all the subdomains are also allowed, and you can do pen testing on the subdomain as well. Here you can see the program of the Upwork. Okay, these here you can see the range also of the Upwork. Like you can see it have a little bit low range than a Vox program, right? If you see for P3 vulnerability, it rewards around $480 to $720. Okay, you can see the scope, that is upwork.com, in the Android application, iOS application. Even they have mentioned, you can see that out of scope. So basically any subdomain and the property not listed in the scope section is out of scope. So basically they just want to tell that subdomains are not in scope. Okay, so like that it will be. Similarly, if we will see the hacker one, here also you can simply create an account by clicking on this button. Okay, if you click on the login button, you will get the registration page also. Okay, now if you go to researchers and the opportunities, we can see the programs here as well. Okay, so let's open some programs. So you can see the list of programs, like we have around 457 opportunities for you. So it's starting from like we can say the VDP and the bug bounty programs. Okay, so basically VDPs are like which won't be rewarding for the bugs. Okay, they will just give you the kudos. Kudos are like points. Okay, okay, so let me open this Autodesk. Let's open the you can see Starbucks have different programs. Like for China they are running a different program, for Japan they are running a different program. Like here you can see we have US Department of State program. Okay, and here you can see they didn't mention any in scope. In scope means they didn't mention any kind of scope. Okay, so basically you can see here core ineligible findings are out of scope, and here they mention learn more. Basically this is a wildcard program, I can say. So you have to find out the assets which are owned by this particular organization, and you can report any bugs on this particular program, or on the sites which belongs to this particular organization. Okay, so this type of programs are good to start with. Like you can get some reputation, and after that you will get private invites as well. Okay, so you can go with like Department of Defense or US Department of state. Okay, so different we have, like here you can see US Department of Defense, so it is also a wildcard domain. So basically here you can find the assets owned by US Department of Defense, and you can report the bugs here. Okay, so basically they won't reward you the money, but they will give you the reputation. Okay, then like you can see here we have Autodex vulnerability program. So let's see the scope. So you can say no assets in the scope. Okay, so it might be possible that this is also like a wildcard program. Okay, where you can simply find the assets of this particular organization, that is Autodesk, and you can report the bugs. Let's go to this Oppo bug bounty program. So here you can see the range also. Okay, similar to the bug route. So you can see the range for the critical and the low severity bugs. So basically they have categorized based on the different applications as well, like known core web properties, core web properties, mobile properties, and test environments. So basically they might be having some test environment websites also. For them they will reward the low bounty. Okay, so you might got an idea about the programs. So basically similarly, if you will go on Synec, so since it is an like private program, you have to apply here. Okay, so since you can apply from the websites also. So you can see here, you can see here apply to SRT, right? So from here we have to apply. So basically we have to fill our all the details, including resume, certificates, whatever we have. Okay, same goes with the Yogosha as well. Okay, so you have to apply. Now how to find the public programs? So let me tell you. So you can easily find with the Google Docs. So these are Google Docs. Okay, so can't explain you now like in this short session like what are Google Docs in the deep, but basically they are like advanced search filters. Okay, usually we use google.com, right, for search purposes. So what you do is simply you will search here something, like consider I am searching for some college project. So what I will do is college project in AI and ML. Okay, like consider I am searching for some kind of project. So how we can use the advanced search tool is like here you can go to like tools and advanced search. So for that we can, what we can do is we can use some filters, like consider file type, which is an operator, and we can put here I need the PDF. So basically what the search engine will do is search engine will give us all the search results which contain the file type as PDF. So now you can see here we have all PDFs, right? Project report of 2023 SVP, that is Sri Venkateshwar College or whatever it is. Okay, so you can see here all the PDFs we are getting. Okay, so what it will do is it will give us the precise content, like what exactly you need, it will give in that way. So basically Google Docs can help us in order to find something what we are looking for. Okay, similarly for finding the bug bounty programs, like what if I will show you bug bounty program, let's go. So you can see here let's go to Apple. Next let's go to Mozilla. So basically these are some programs, not some, we have many programs. Okay, basically these are the programs which are not hosted on any of the platform. Okay, like consider if they don't want to go to Bugcrowd or HackerOne, what they can do is they can host their own program by making a new page or maybe a new subdomain on their website, and they can put all the information there, like how a person can report vulnerability to them, what is the scope, what is the reward range, what is the process of reporting, like reporting via email form, or it might be a third party form like integrated, we can say Google form or something. Okay, so similarly you can see here we do have Apple bug bounty program where they mention like how to report the vulnerability. So basically you can click on the submit a report button, you can log in into your Apple account, and then you can submit your bug reports. Similarly we do have the categories, like what are the categories. So you can see products, services. So here you can see that if you found a vulnerability which are like related to command injection decentralization bug XXE, which is leading to RC, so this is a reward range like $10,000 to $50,000, $2,500 to 50,000. Okay, so it depends on the domain as well, sometime like on which domain you found. Okay, and which severity bug you found. Okay, so based on that they will reward you. Okay, similarly you can see here for the Mozilla, they have hosted on the page, like we can see the bug bounty right under security. So you can see slash security slash bug bounty. So basically what we are going to use is we will simply search on the Google to find those programs. Now why we are using Google Doc is, like, consider if you want to find the bug bounty programs for specially, like consider any country, like consider if you want to find for Ireland. Okay, so I am using .ir. Okay, so you can see here now we are getting the programs which belongs to .ir domains, right? So you can see here we are having all .ir. Okay, even what we can do is we want in text means inside the site we want bug bounty and reward keyword. So basically we will look for the programs which will give rewards. Okay, since some program will give you only like Hall of Fame or maybe gift card, okay, or maybe the certificate. So here you can see there's Mozilla is having a Hall of Fame page as well. Okay, and you can see here how much reward they paid till now. So it's around you can see. Okay, similarly you can see for Vazoku program. Okay, so here also they prepared a bug bounty program where they mention all the rules and everything. Similarly, like for my organization SoloSecurities, what we created is we created a responsible disclosure page. If you can see here, you can see the responsible disclosure. So basically what we mention is like anybody can hunt on this particular program, like this is the site, even subdomains are eligible. Okay, and .in.com both are eligible. So here we already mentioned that what is the accepted category, what are the out of scope bugs, what we expect from you, and we used to give the acknowledgements and recognitions like the Hall of Fame. Here you can your name could be here if you report any valid vulnerability which is not known to us. Okay, or maybe if it is a duplicate, like consider if somebody already reported that particular bug and after that you reported, so it might be a duplicate bug. Apart from that, we are giving a reward like the awesome swag of the SoloSecurity as a token of appreciation. Okay, so like this company used to prepare their own bug bounty page, or we can say the vulnerability disclosure page. Okay, or we can also say that responsible disclosure policy, and they can host on their website, so anybody can find out that page and can report the vulnerability. Like similarly if we open this, okay, if you want to go for EU programs, okay, so usually they will be having the name as responsible disclosure. Okay, so it's same. So let's open this program. So now you can see here, right, that what is the program scope and rules, how to report a vulnerability, that you have to send it by email. Okay, on which security@proton.me. Okay, So here are the qualifying vulnerabilities, known qualifying vulnerabilities. Here are the reward amount. So basically they will pay, you can see the for low severity $50, moderate $200, maximum bounty $10,000. So range also you can see here. You can see one from EU. So you can see they have the Hall of Fame page also, and a single name was there. It means only one researcher has reported a valid bug till now. So these type of programs you can engage, since there will be less crowd on this type of programs, which are called as private hosted programs. Okay, so basically over platform we have more crowd. Okay, so initially in the initial stage of bug bounty, you guys can start with these programs. Okay, and you can find more programs like this using Google Docs. Okay, so you can use different keywords here, and you can find the program from here. Okay, if you guys have any doubt regarding the programs, you guys can ask in the chat box. Okay, so like, did you understood, right, how to find the programs and what is the bug bounty? Okay, let's move on. So you can see here types of bug bounty programs are public program, private program, and self-hosted programs. Okay, so I already showed you the public programs. Okay, and then private programs and the self-hosted. So how to find and apply for private bug bounty programs? So you have to gain the initial experience, like by reporting the vulnerabilities on the public programs, I can say. Uh, by improving your reputation, like getting high ranks on HackerOne and Bugcrowd, join like engaging more with the community, getting certificates like CEH, OSCP, PNPT can boost your credibility for the private invites. Okay. Okay, so basically we have one question from the audience, like how to get the program first. Okay, so basically if you get the program first, it means you get a chance to report the vulnerability first and getting reward as well. Okay, so first what you have to do is, like, if I talk about the platforms, so on the platforms initially you have to gain some kind of reputation. Okay, once you get the reputation, like consider for like let me talk about the HackerOne. So basically if you report a valid bug on the HackerOne, you will get +7 reputation. Okay, similarly for duplicate you will be getting +2 reputation, and for the invalid bugs there will be minus points as well, right, like -7. It may be more also sometime. Okay, so once you start reporting the bugs on the HackerOne, you will start getting the reputation. Your signal will increase. So they have one signal. Okay, so whenever you report a valid bug, your signal will be increased, like in from I think 0 to +7. Okay, so like you have a signal of 5, 6, like that. So if you get a high signal, there are more chances that you will get the program first. Okay, it even a time will come when a program is going to launch in March, and you will receive a notification in Feb or January itself that a program is going to launch in the March on this particular date and the time also. Okay, so you can be ready for that particular program, and whenever it's launched, you can instantly start finding bug on that particular program, and you can report it first and get the vulnerability first. So basically that's what I am telling you, that initially you have to go over these programs which are like public programs. Okay, you can find using docs, and you can just hunt on these programs. Okay, so basically your speed will increase, you will learn more and more bugs, you will find more bugs. Then you can switch over to the platform. From when you go to any platform, you can start with the wildcard programs which doesn't provide the bounties, like Department of Defense program. Okay, then there are other organization, or we can say the other wildcard programs are also there. So you can start with those programs. Once you get the reputation, they will invite you to the new, or we can say very fresh programs. So they will be having very less out of scope. Okay, whatever vulnerability you will report, most probably it will be valid only since nobody reported earlier. Okay, so even if you are going to report P4 bugs or rate limiting bugs or from different categories, so those will be, you will be getting as valid bugs. Okay. Okay, so what is understanding responsible disclosure policies? So basically policies are nothing but rules. Okay, so set of rules company use to handle security reports. It ensures that the hacker report bugs ethically without harming the system, so you won't exploit any bug. Okay, companies respond to reports and fix the issue. Hacker do not share do not share bug publicly before company fixes them. Okay, so the key point of responsible disclosure is no illegal hacking. Hacker must follow the company rules. Then the private reporting, like bugs should be reported to the company first and not made public. Okay, reward and recognition, company may reward or acknowledge ethical hackers. So how to get start with different platforms? Choose a platform, sign up on HackerOne, Bugcrowd, Integrity, Synac, Yes We Hack. Okay, learn security basics like the OWASP top 10, practice on the ports figure, try hack me and hack the box. So I will recommend that everybody should learn from the ports figure. So it is a very well known and mostly like every pen tester, or we can say a bug bounty hunter, will go to ports figure and learn from there. Okay, so they have a very good labs, like it just like real scenario labs they have, so you can learn from there. Then read the program rules, like check scope, allow testing areas and reward policies before hunting. Okay, so start with public programs, find and report small bugs to gain experience. Then write your clear report, like your bug detail should be very clear, like you should have a title, appropriate title, like whatever bug you found, you should give a very appropriate title, that from the title itself the reviewer should understand that what actually you found and what you are reporting. Like consider you found an cross-site scripting vulnerability in the name parameter, so you should have a clear title. Then you should have some kind of description. Description should explain like what vulnerability you found. Then a detailed step to reproduce, like how a one can reproduce the issue. You can even put a screenshot at each step, like how you followed to find that particular bug, starting from the website, whatever module you have used. Okay, whatever wherever at wherever place you found, you took a clear screenshot and put it in the report. Make some like red boxes and all over the places where you found the bug, like consider you found in the mobile parameter, so you put a red box on that particular mobile parameter. Okay, then put the impact and the mitigation, and you can even attach an video POC for more clear understanding. Okay, so basically we do have different state of report after submitting. So basically whenever you submit a report, it will be considered as a new, like report started in the unread state. So basically once a triager will come, he will triage that particular report, like yeah, we have validated the report and we are in the process of fixing. Then we will be having a state called resolved. If the bug will be resolved, it will be marked as resolved. The bug and vulnerability has been already fixed. Informative means if your vulnerability which you reported is an informative, like we can say a informational issue and doesn't harm the organization, so they might mark it as informative and won't affect your reputation, like it's neither negative or nor positive. So duplicate means if the issue is already reported by some researcher before you, not applicable is like this is not a valid issue. It might be possible that you think that it's a issue when you found, but the program thinks that it's a not applicable bug, like it's not an issue. Okay, sometime even misunderstanding might happen, right? You think that it's a bug, but it might be possible that actually it's not a bug. Okay, then spam is like an invalid report which the reporter did not make the legitimate attempt to describe a security issue. Okay, here is a life cycle of that particular bug submission, like finding a bug. Okay, then from the you prepare a new report which goes to under review. In the review mode they might ask you for the more information. If they are not very clear to the report, they might ask you for the more information, like how you reproduced, or at any step if the reviewer is facing difficulty, he may ask you the question. Based on that, he may validate the report that it's a valid or a non-valid issue, non-applicable, invalid, out of scope, like you reported on the domain which is out of scope. Either your bug will go as a duplicate, spam, or okay, then we have a valid, accepted, set, reward. And then if it is a valid, if they mitigated the vulnerability, they will ask for the verification that whether the vulnerability has been fixed or not, and then it will be marked as resolved. Okay, now regarding the setting up your hacking environment, so what essential tool you can use is like Bub Suite you can use for intercept, proxy, okay, you can use the Bub Suite. Then we have Nmap, which you can use to finding ports. Okay, open services, what are the versions, okay, of those particular services. So all this information you can find using Nmap. Then we have Nicto, which is an automated vulnerability scanning tool, just like a nuclei we can say. Then Metasploit for exploiting the network related vulnerabilities, and the SQL map, like for finding SQL, we have SQL map. So there are many more tools also, okay, in the bug bounty. So simply if you go to some like a bug bounty tools GitHub, so you can easily get some repo which contains most of the tool names. Okay, so here you can see the list of the tool inserted. You can see the network scanner, subdomain scanner, okay, so subdomain takeover, web fuzzer. So different tools you can get it from the internet. So you can use many tools you can use. Okay, then you can install your virtual machine and the Kali Linux setup. So you can even use Windows operating system also for doing bug bounty hunting and pen testings, but more preferable is the Kali Linux. Okay, since you won't get any like library errors, dependency errors, requirement errors, you won't get in the Linux operating system. While if you perform all the things with the Windows operating system, initially you might get some errors, or you might you have to put more time in order to set up those tools in your Windows machines. Okay, since most of the tool are made for the Linux operating system only, we can say the Linux based, so you can use your Kali Linux or maybe Ubuntu or Parrot OS, whatever you want to use. Okay, so all of these are we can say that Linux based operating system. So what browser and extensions you can use, like you okay, let me share with you, just a minute. Okay, so you can use a Webalizer. So basically Webalizer is just for reading, or we can say the scanning technologies used by the website. If I open a website, let me open like google.com. Now you can see here the Webalizer has analyzed this particular website, and it has told that what are the technologies used by this particular site. Okay, so you can read the site technologies and the versions also. Sometime Webalizer will show you. So it help us to perform the penetration testing on this particular site, like sometime consider if there is some technology like WordPress will be there, or like any other CMS is there, you can easily run a scanner as that for that particular CMS, and you can find vulnerabilities. Consider like if the site is using Apache server, or maybe like it is using PHP, which particular version of the PHP the site might be using, if site might be using any kind of form, so you can find out using the webalizer and that particular version, and you can find the open source vulnerabilities, like we can say CVs for that particular version, and you can test on that particular site. Okay, then we have like cookie editor for finding session issues. You can use cookie editor, you can use webalizer, or we can say the Foxy proxy, okay, which is to configure the proxy. You can use the Foxy proxy, like you can configure your bub suite with the Google Chrome. So basically Chrome doesn't have inbuilt proxy settings, so you can use Foxy proxy in order to set up the proxy. Okay, apart from that we do have like Shodan extension, okay, for reading the IP addresses and the open ports. You can use Shodan. You can use open multiple URLs as well, okay, in order to open like 10-15 URLs. If you have, you can open at a time, paste all the URLs here, and you can simply by clicking on this open URL, it will open all the URLs, okay. Okay, next is practical reconnaissance technique. So understanding the importance of recon, like finding hidden vulnerabilities, you can say. It involves information gathering about domains, subdomains, IP, and technologies used. So let's try to find the subdomain enumeration. So how you can start pen testing on any program, like first find a program. It might be using going through over any platform, or using this Google Docs. Okay, so after finding the program and choosing the program, we'll find the subdomains. So let's go to this program. Okay, now here you can see we have the domain, that is adg.com. Now let's find the subdomain of this particular program. So you can use subfinder or find domain for this. Okay, side by side, let's start find domain as well on this particular target. Alongside, you can use HTTP AGS also to find the live domains. Like consider we are using find domain. Along with that, we can use HTTP probe or HTTP AGS to find the alive domains. So some subdomains are like maybe they have created this subdomain, and there it might be possible then they have deleted that particular DNS entry. Okay, so it might be possible that still the this tools will find that particular subdomains due to that particular past entry, but it might be possible that now that particular subdomain doesn't exist. Okay, so we can filter out those domains using HTTP probe. So basically what it will give you is it will give you all the working domains only. Okay, so you can see here it has found 89 subdomains, but it might be possible that some of the subdomains might not be working. Like you can see here influential software.academy.adg.com. so you can see here server not found. So it might be possible that this subdomain is not working. Similarly, you can see here the find domain has found the subdomain as well. How many subdomains are this? Let's see. So they are around 114 subdomains. Okay, now you can see here we have the alive subdomains. Okay, you can use even more options which are provided by the HTTP probe, and you can get even status also, like whether it is a 200 or something. Okay, like similarly we can use this http status.io. At a time it allows us to check for the 100 subdomains. So I am going to put the subdomains here and check status. So you can see here it has mentioned the status code where it got redirected. Okay, and you can see here the final one, like it have around 3 redirects and it will go to this particular site at last. So like that you can read here, and they are getting errors. Okay, so you need to manually check it, like what error they have. So you can see here they are also redirected to some site that is login.adg.com, since they might require login in order to access. Okay, okay. You can use multiple tools for the subdomain discovery. Why I prefer multiple subdomains, since you have just now seen that the subdomain finder, we can say the sub finder, has provided a different amount of subdomain, and the find domain has provided a different amount of subdomain. So what you can do is you can find subdomains using multiple tools, and then you can combine all of them and just filter out the unique ones. Okay, so you will get more subdomains in that particular way, and you won't miss any subdomain. Okay, then you can use Shodan and census for other discoveries, like maybe the expose attack asset, or we can say for any confidential info, maybe any login page using Shodan admin login page, or some for scanning some services, like that. Okay, for finding hidden endpoints, like some endpoints, like consider if there is some hidden directory, or we can say a slash upload directory is accessible publicly. So those you can find using wayback URL, like finding different endpoints for cross-site scripting vulnerability, then we can say SSRF vulnerability, LFI, RFI. For different vulnerabilities, you can use wayback along with GAO. Okay, using. Okay, I already showed you like how to write the impactful bug report. Tools you already know. So basically Bub Suite is the world's most widely used web application security testing software. It is developed by the company named Portswigger, and it's basically all-in-one security testing tool. So let me open the Bub Suite. So you can even enhance the capability of the Bub Suite by installing the add-ons. Okay, using extender, we can say. You can see here we have the extensions, and we have here the Bub app store. So from here you can install different tools. Some are available in the pro edition and some are available in the community edition. So you can install those tools from here, and you can enhance the capability of the Bub Suite as well. Okay, so you can see here we have different tabs, like dashboard. Okay, to view the task live audit from the proxy all traffic, you can see here. Then we have target section, like you list of the URLs that you visited, and it will crawl all the URLs here, and you can see it. Okay, then we have a proxy. Proxy is nothing but, like, consider if any what usually what will happen is if you go to sign up page or the login page, what will happen, you will put your username here and the password here, then you click on sign up button. So what will happen, one request will go to the github.com along with your containing your username and password, and it will validate whether those passwords are valid or invalid, and you will get some kind of response based on that. So what will happen is you put one third party proxy in between to intercept the traffic. So basically what you are doing is you are diverting your traffic from browser to proxy and then from proxy to server. Similarly, if any response will come, it will first come from server to proxy and then from proxy to browser. So in the middle, what you can do is you can see each and every request and response, you can read them, and you can you can modify, you can change some parameters, and you can play with those request and response in order to find the vulnerability. Okay, so Bubsuite have different tools, like consider proxy, intruder, repeater, comparer, decoder, and extender. So basically intruder we use for fuzzing, like for brute forcing OTP or might be any form, and then we have the repeater to repeat the task. Like consider if you want to analyze one request for multiple repetitions, like by changing different parameters, then you can use the repeaters. Then we have the collaborator. So basically collaborator is enables you to test whether you can induce an application to interact with an external service like DNS, HTTP or SMTP. So basically we use it for the SSRF vulnerability to test whether a server will respond for the HTTP interaction or not. So that you can test using the collaborator. Then we have the sequencer to analyze a particular sequence, like consider if you have some kind of token which generate in one particular randomness, we can say, so that particular sequence you can analyze using sequencer. Then we have the decoder, like if you want to decode some like if you want to decode a URL or the HTML or the base64 encoded payloads, so you can easily decode using this decoder. Then we have comparer. If you want to compare two requests or two response, you can use the comparer. Okay, then we have logger for the if you see the all HTTP traffic logs, then you can use this logger. Then we have the extensions, which is also known as extender. Okay, so you guys can simply watch a video or maybe a walkthrough like how to configure your Bubsuite with the browser. So it's a very easy task. It won't take more than 2-3 minutes. We can say you can configure within a minute also. So you just have to go to proxy settings, add a proxy here. Okay, you can see here by default it will be there 127.0.0.1 and the port is 8080. You can change it if this particular port is already used in your system. You can change it to 8081, 8082, whatever you want. Then put then enable the add the proxy in the Foxy proxy, or if you are using Mozilla Firefox, it have inbuilt proxy settings. So from there you can add the proxy which is like this. You can configure. Okay, that is 127.0.0.1 and the 8080. Then download the certificate by putting http://burp. Just hit this particular site after configuring the proxy, and from here you can download the CS certificate. Just add this whatever CS certificate you download, just add in the settings, like you search here cert, and from here you can add manage certificate, and from there you can add that particular certificate, so that it won't throw you any error for navigating your traffic through this particular proxy. Okay, otherwise you will get some kind of error that your traffic has been intercepted like that. So basically we are just putting that particular certificate that this is our legitimate path, and let my traffic allow to flow via a proxy. Okay. So Okay, I already explained you the proxy scanner. Basically, scanner is an automatically scan for like security flows. It is available in the pro version, and using scanner you can find some common vulnerabilities, we can say. Even sometime it will give you some critical vulnerabilities also. Okay, so but it might be false positive as well. Okay, so basically scanner will give you whatever vulnerabilities. You can't blindly trust them. You have to taste it whether it's a valid issue or not. Okay, let's start with two vulnerabilities. I'm going to teach you two vulnerabilities, not in the in depth. Okay, can't cover everything in the detail. So but I will try to cover up these two vulnerabilities, that is sensitive data exposure and the parameter tampering. So basically parameter tampering is also known as price manipulation. So basically how to do a price manipulation on any site. It might be it's not like only price manipulation. We can do a quantity manipulation, token manipulation. Okay, different parameters we can manipulate, and we can purchase the product at the different price or whatever price we put. Like consider if a product is of 5000 rupees, you might get it at 1 rupees, right, by using the bug called as price manipulation, or you can say the parameter tampering. Okay, so let's first start with an sensitive data exposure. So basically sensitive data exposure happens when important personal information like your password, credit card numbers, address, or maybe your username. Okay, available to the unauthorized people, then it will be called as sensitive data exposure. Then this can happen if the data isn't properly protected when it's stored on or sent across the internet. So basically what will happen is that what I told you is like consider if your traffic is going from your browser to the server. So it might be possible that in between also some data might be leaked, like it may be OTP, it may be password, it may be your other information like credit card in the clear text. Okay, so apart from that it might be possible that the server will leak your sensitive data in some file. It may be accessible publicly, like maybe just by fuzzing the directories anybody can find that particular data. So that is also called as sensitive data exposure. Apart from that, if a company holds an account on any public platforms, like consider Netflix. Okay, so Netflix might be having the account over GitHub. They might be holding some product source code or maybe different code at the GitHub. So it might be possible that the developer has forget to remove the sensitive data from that particular source code, or maybe from that particular code which they are making there, we can say. Okay, so they might forget to remove the URL or the API key they might be using. Okay, so those we can find it by searching, simply going to the GitHub using different operators and searching, and then finding that particular data and reporting to that particular organization. Okay, apart from that where you can find, like using Google search, you can find, like consider if there is any file exposed, using search operators in the Google you can find that particular file. We can call them as Google Docs, right? So using Google Docs also you can find, and we do have other different tools. So how does sensitive data exposure happens? Like weak protection if the data is stored in the plain text. Okay, then unsecure communication, like if the data is sent over the internet using insecure connection, like consider if the site is using HTTP only. So any attacker over the same network can use the Wireshark or some other tool to capture that particular traffic. Okay, and all your data will be visible in the clear text. So poor encryption, like consider over weak or outdated method to protect the data, make it easier for hackers to break it. So they might be using some poor encryption, like might be they encrypted their data in the base 64 or MD5, which is easily decodable. Okay, so anyone can decode that particular data using some tools. Okay, and can find your password or maybe the confidential information. So let me show you one bug. Okay, so you can see here in the Mozilla, this is how you can configure your proxy, like manual configuration. So you can see here, this is a, here we can see the error which we are getting, that Firefox has detected a potential security threat and won't continue. So basically it's a certificate error we are getting. So from here you can simply install the certificate. Trust this certificate to identify website. So we'll click on OK. That's it. Now if you will put again, so you won't get any error, right? So our proxy is configured. Now let me show you the bug. Okay. So here you can see here, like I have used one Google Doc. Okay, like consider site star.com or .in I am using, like for defining the domain. Okay, so here you can see slash log.txt file for which we are looking, and I have mentioned here the file type as txt. So basically we are finding the file which is name as txt. Now consider if you are hunting on any particular site, like consider Netflix. So you can put it like this and you can try to find it. If there is any data exist, it will show us. You can use different docs. Let me show you. So basically go to GHDB to get an idea about like how to find the sensitive info. So here you can see here Google hacking database, okay, is an index for search queries. So basically you can even publish your Google Docs as well. Okay, by reporting to them, you search for the process as well. So here you can see here file containing passwords. Okay, file containing juicy informations. Juicy information means we can say that some kind of sensitive information like that. So you can see here we have selected here the category, that is juicy information, and you can see here multiple docs. You can modify these docs based on your requirements. Like consider for an particular organization, if you are looking to find some sensitive information, you can modify as per like consider if you are looking for the cgi.pl. So what you can do is you can put here site star dot, or maybe whatever site you are hunting on, like consider Google or Apple.com, right? You can put here star dot, like looking on any of the subdomains. So consider if that particular you didn't found anything, so Google will show you as no result. Let's keep it a wildcard as of now. So I am keeping it as star.google.com, and let's try to look for these files. Okay, so let's open some site. So what we'll do is basically it's showing on the GitHub. So for now what I will do is I will exclude GitHub from my search results. So site star.github.com. So I am excluding this particular site. Why it's not excluded? Okay, so it's excluded, right? So now look for the files. Like consider if you are finding for this configuration.php file, we can use this particular doc. You can modify even this doc. These are just examples, okay. So basically I just want one file so I can explain you how to find this and how this vulnerability happens. So here you can see this, even I do have one here example. Let me show you. Like consider here we have slash data, okay. So basically you can see here this is called as like directory listing, right, that all the files are exposed here, right. Like it might be here some sensitive file might also exist of that particular server. So you can see here .csv files are there, and even latest files are also there, which is like from today, right. It's today's date, okay. They are not opening, okay, that it's downloaded. So let's open this and you can see what it contains, okay. So nothing much, but sometime you may get some sensitive informations also, okay. So how to find this type of vulnerabilities? So basically what you can do is, for finding this logs files and the like administrator, you can see different files we have. So for finding this type of files, what you can use is, you can use directory brute force, okay. So like dir search you can use. So it's like a web path scanner, okay. So you provide one custom word list, or maybe you use it use the default word list. It's your wish, okay. And we will do a directory brute forcing. So basically directory brute forcing is, let me explain you in the layman term. Like consider we have a website called as netflix.com. now consider here, on that particular server there might be some folder called data. In that particular data there might be one more folder called privacy, and in that folder might be there some particular files will be there, like some sensitive file, we can say config file, okay. Or it might be possible that we have some log.txt file. So how to find those files, right? If you have access to that particular file, like if it is publicly accessible, you just need to find the path to that particular file. If you found the path of that particular file, you can easily access that particular sensitive file, right? Even what more you can find is, consider if you have opened some subdomain or maybe a domain which has nothing, you will show, it will show just a white window. There is nothing on that particular video, it just on that particular site, it's just a white window. So it might be possible that in some directory there might be some data, or there might be some page will be exist, okay. So it's just you have to find that particular page using some tool. So we can use, for that we can use dir search. So basically what it will do is, it will brute force that directory, like whatever word list it have, it will put one by one at this particular place, and it will test it whether that particular folder is exist or not, whether that particular file is available or not, and whatever will be available it will show you. So for installing this tool, you can simply type dir search in your terminal. If it will not be there, and when you put enter, it will ask you to install it, okay. So that is the one way. Second way, I think you can follow the installation which is mentioned in this particular repository. You can see here the requirements, and you just have to clone this particular repo. You have to install the requirements, and then you can install the dir search, okay. But recently only I have installed it, since I did the setup of my Linux again. So you just have to put here dir search, and when you hit enter, it will automatically ask you to install. You can even use dir buster also. So there are multiple tools to perform this particular action. So it's your wish which tool you want to go with, okay. So let me use here dir search, and if you put -h for the help, you will get it like what are the options available in this particular tool, like what you have to use, like -u for URL, -l for path, okay. So it's up to you, like what options you have to use. So let me put -u. Let me take any site, like let's take this particular site, and let's hit enter. So you can see here it have a by default word list size of 11460. So this is a number of payloads it contains. It will just brute force those payloads over here, and it will show you, like you can see 406. Like consider if you are getting many 406, 301 or 500, so you can exclude from your search results. How is you modify your command like exclude, or we can simply put include 200, 301 and 302. Okay, and let's hit enter. So now you won't get this 406, 50 or something like that. You can even do a recursive brute force also. Recursive brute force means, like consider if there is a directory called site, so it will start brute forcing under that site directory also, like what more files are there in that particular directory, but it takes a lot of time to do a recursive brute forcing. Okay. Since this is not responding, let's test some other side. Okay, whenever you perform this any of the attacks, you do search for the bug bounty programs, you read their policies and that perform. Okay, without permission don't perform this brute force attacks and all. Okay, so let me perform 1 minute. Let's take. So consider like the dir search has found one file, right? Dot well known. In that we have asset links.json file. Let's open this. So you can what it contain. It's an empty file. It's contain nothing. Let's see this Apple site association. It's an empty. So you got it right, what basically we are doing using this dir search. So we are just brute forcing the directories and trying to find any sensitive file that might contain some sensitive information, or maybe the server configuration files. Okay, let's move on to the next. We'll open the GitHub. So like consider I am using organization Netflix, searching for the key API. Let's search. I think for using operators we need to log in. Yeah, So let me log in once. Okay, so you can see here when we have searched under the organization, that is Netflix, key and API. So what it is doing is it is searching for both of these keyword, okay, in their entire organization's code files. Okay, so whatever will be containing this key and API keyword will be giving us. So like this you can find for the sensitive information, okay, for any of the application. Like consider if that doesn't have any organization uh, available here, you can simply use that particular link, like consider netflix .com or their URL or something, and you can try to use some keywords and find for the secret information, like consider password and username. Okay, so it might be possible that why I am telling using URL you can find, like sometime what happen, like consider there is a company, consider we have a company SoloSecurities. Under that we have some employees, okay, like the developers who are working in that particular organization. So they might be working on some kind of project of the SoloSecurity, and they might have uploaded their code on the github.com, and they forget to make that particular repository private. Okay, and they might be performing their task over there, and they forget to make it as private, so anyone can go to the github and use this kind of URL and search for those sensitive informations. Okay, so you can find it, like consider if you have found some sensitive information in this login.py file, you can just go to their github account and you can find out that who is the owner of that particular account. Like consider if it not an organization, it might be possible that by going to that particular person's social accounts, and you can find it. If that particular person works in any organization, or we can say that particular organization where you are testing your bug, so you can report it, okay, and you can state everything in the email that this particular employee is working in your organization. He has a repo where your organization code is there, and it leaks the API key or something. So like that you can find it. Okay, so sensitive information from the GitHub. Then for like few files we have, like sensitive files, like consider for finding the .git source code, like if consider .git is exposed, like maybe some sensitive file, we can say .env file. So those you can find using the extension that is called .git extension. Okay, so simply in the Google Chrome or Firefox, just go and search for .git extension, and simply you can install this particular extension in order to find the git exposed or the .env file, or for few more file it has. So extension for Firefox. So what will happen, like consider, let me enable the extension. Okay, it's enabled. So here you can see .git. Okay, now what will happen is, consider as an example I have one site, consider I am visiting this particular site. So this tool will, like consider, let me search first this site on Google. Consider you have searched it and you visited this particular site. So whenever you are going to visit that particular site, automatically this .git will do a fuzzing, and it will tell you that whether the files like /.git is accessible or not, /.env file is there or not. This tool will automatically prompt you. So this particular extension is very helpful for finding that. You can simply install it and leave it in your browser and it automatically works in the background. Is it enabled? So you can even keep it on. So you can see here, found and exposed .git. So the extension itself is telling that it has found .git/head. Okay, so what you can do is, now you know you knew that it has the vulnerability. Okay, so what I am going is .git/index file. Okay, directly don't report this vulnerability. If this particular directory is accessible, you can check if there is any sensitive information or not, then you can report it. Okay, so I am telling you how to find the sensitive information. So just download this file called as index file. Okay, after finding this index file, you can even download the entire source code from here. Okay, so just click on this button and it will download all the files which are present in the .git folder. Okay, so after downloading the files, just analyze in your system. So what I am going to do here, I am going to type here strings and then index. So here is the available string in that particular index file. Now what you can do is, like consider we have .git ignore. So let's open that particular file, that is /.git. So what is there, you can see we have a path to one configuration file and one database file. Okay, so let's try to open this. So you can see here it is forbidden. Similarly we can check for this. Sometime this git ignore will contain some confidential file paths also. We do have .htaccess, so you can try to open the htaccess as well. So you can see here it is forbidden. Let's try some more files. It's downloaded. It might contain some data. What is this health int.json? You can even use a grep match for this much of large file in order to find some sensitive thing, like consider grep. Then we can grep for logs. It has application /log/ index.html. Then we have /logs as well. Okay, it's a 404 page. Let's search for .txt files Okay, we have only one license.txt file. So like if you get from here, you can deep dive more, you can search it more files, and you can check different files. Sometime you may get so sensitive directories here. Okay, so those you can report it. Okay, even you can report this also as a vulnerability, but the severity will be low since you didn't found anything critical or something like that. Since it disclose all the internal path of that particular application, it's crucial, right, for an application to disclose all these things. So it's still you can report it. Okay, now one more thing, like consider when we tried for searching this .txt file, it gives us this path. So basically while taking the path from this, ignore this too. Okay, sometime this will be it start from here actually. Okay, so let's try, and you can see here we do have the license.txt file, right? Then we can search for document, we can search for PDF, right? Okay, let me show you one bug. Okay, so consider now we already configured our bub suite, right? So we can intercept the traffic, and we can check the response and request, whatever going to the server and whatever coming from the server. So what I am going to do is, let's put here the name, which is the test account, and let's put the mobile number like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Obviously I don't have access to this particular mobile number, correct? What I am going to do is I am going to send the OTP. Okay, and I am going to intercept the request. So let's intercept the request, and you can see here this is a post request which is going towards the host, that is puranabecho.com, and you can see it is the post request at the place you can see /users/send OTP, and we have the mobile number here. Now let me see the response of this particular request. To see the response of the request, what you can do is just right click here, and you can see here do intercept response to this request. So if you are going to click on this particular button, so what will happen, you will get response of this particular request. Otherwise what will happen is, if you will forward this request, automatically the response will go to directly to the browser itself. Okay, it won't come up in the bub suite. So to view in the bub suite, we have to click here, that is do intercept response to this request. Now let me click on the forward button, and you can see here is the response, we got it. So you can see here response contains some numbers. Okay, so usually we also know, like when I used to do pen testing or the bug bounty hunting, usually the response will contain nothing, or it might be contain here success. Okay, or it might be contain here like 200 okay, or it might be like something like that. Okay, but not some like, it might contain numbers also, but let's curious what is those numbers. So what we are going to do is, we'll copy this number and we'll forward the request to the browser. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to use those numbers over here. Okay, now I am using, let me first try here 00000, and let me click on submit. So what we have received is it might be incorrect OTP, due to that it didn't allow 1 2 3 4 5 6. Again we'll trying, so it might be incorrect OTP. Let's put that particular number and let's click on submit. So basically these are OTP, okay, so which are disclosed in the response. So how you can find this type of sensitive data? Like first is, you can look on each and every responses, right? If you are not looking on the responses, it's fine. What you can do is, your burp and your browser is already connected to each other. So most probably they the burp will contain all the HTTP history, right? Like all the request and response and everything. So what you can do is, you can put your own mobile number. Okay, when you are going to put your own mobile number, you will receive an OTP, right? It might be possible that you will receive an OTP. It might be that you have received a token over your email address or the OTP on your email address. So what you have to do is, before putting those OTPs or the tokens on the website, just go to Burp search and search for that particular OTP in the Burp search tool. Okay, so when you are going to search, if it is reflecting somewhere, that means it has been exposed somewhere, right? So you can see here where it is, where is that request send OTP, and you can see in the response it is showing that it has been reflected here. So like that you can find it. Okay, if you don't want to look each and every request and response, whenever there is like any field where you receive an OTP or any kind of token like a password reset token, copy that token and search over here. It might be possible that sometime it has been exposed by that particular server. Okay, so this is called an OTP bypass. Now, okay, now I knew that most of you guys will, what will you do is, after finding this vulnerability, we can report it, right? It's an OTP bypass, leads to account takeover. But what more sensitive thing we can do with this bug? Can anyone tell me quickly in the chatbot, like what more things we can do here? Like, we found the bug, OTP bypass. Now what you can do with this bug? Okay, nobody? Okay, so let me tell you what you can do is, let me first try to explain you one scenario. Consider I have some site star dot in URL admin login. Let's search. So consider we have this portal. Yeah, account takeover we already did. So account takeover we already did, right? So basically what we are going to do is, consider here we have admin login. So sometime what happens is, some website uses single login page for normal user, for employees, for admin login. So for every role they are using same login page. So now what is your task is, here we already found the bug, that is the account takeover. So now what we have to do is, we just have to find the admin mobile number so we can take over the admin account also, right? So here consider, if we are going at contact us page, consider we found here a mobile number, right? Let me use this number, and what we'll do is, we'll try to bypass the OTP for this particular number. Okay, and let's see the response. So see, I have clicked here on the response to this request. I am going to turn off the intercept and the response will come. So you can see here it is 619875. Let me use it. Okay, the field didn't came. Okay, let's send again, and let's see the last request. Resend code. Okay, this is the OTP. I'm going to use it here. Now you can see here this is an account of admin only, right? So basically you can see here the profile, the add products, manage products. Okay, so it's an admin account. Okay, so like that, in some of the organization you can like trying to increase more impact of that particular bug, right, by thinking out of the box, or maybe chaining with some other bug. Like consider you found a CSRF vulnerability on the profile page. Okay, now what is CSRF vulnerability? You might be curious, right? So we'll tell you like what is a CSRF vulnerability. So basically it's just like consider over in the profile update section you found a vulnerability called CSRF, where you can you can submit that particular request through some other domain as well, right? By putting that particular request in a text file and hosting it on your own server, then whenever you submit, the somebody else profile will update. Okay, and consider you found a broken authentication leads to email change, which is not allowed. Okay, normally email change is not allowed, but you found that you are able to change the email using broken authentication, and you also found a CSRF vulnerability on the profile page. So you can chain both of these bugs, that is CSRF over profile and broken authentication leads to account takeover. Okay, leads to email change, we can put it as leads to account takeover, right? Since now if anybody will be targeted with that particular CSRF, will immediately, like, we can take over that particular account. So like that you can do a chaining of the bugs as well. Okay, now what is the impact of sensitive data exposure? Okay, not like in the one example what we saw that the OTP has been disclosed. Similarly, in the sensitive data exposure you can find more other scenarios as well. Okay, so all the scenarios I can't cover in this session. Okay, so impact of sensitive data exposure is like identity thief. Hacker can steal personal detail like password, addresses or credit card numbers and use them for fraud. Like financial losses, exposed credit card or banking details can lead to unauthorized transaction or thief. Reputational damage, like if the company data is exposed, it can harm its reputation and can loss of customer trust. Like, right. Legal consequences, data breach may leads to legal action and financial penalties, especially with privacy laws like GDPR. So different countries have different laws, right? So based on their law, they might have to pay the penalties. Okay, next is how we can prevent this particular data exposure. So they should use some kind of strong encryption. They used to use secure connection like HTTP. They used to limit the access to the data, like consider if role based, they should have like which particular user role have access to which particular content. So it's not like anyone can access any of the content. Okay, like consider a manager is there and manager is able to access some confidential data, so a normal user should not be able to access it. So they should have a proper role based access control to manage permissions. Then they should check each and every endpoints and each and every places for the sensitive data. If they have already exposed it, they should remove it from there. Okay, if it is any directory, they should restrict those particular directories from the public access or the direct access. Then regularly they should update their system and patch them. Okay, like encryption method updated to protect against known vulnerabilities, so they can update to the latest version of the software which they are using. Okay, now before proceeding to the price manipulation, I just want to announce that we have launched our live advanced web application bug bounty training, where we are going to teach all the vulnerabilities in the in depth. Okay, like so you can simply go to academy.solosecurities.com. Okay, you can go to courses or the March batch. So basically we are starting from the 3rd of March. We are starting this particular batch, which is from the beginner to advanced web application bug bounty training. You can check the curriculum here, like the what vulnerability which we are going to teach you. Like consider in this short session I can't cover all of these things, right? So basically like the how you can configure the bub suite, what are the different tools in the bub suite, how you can use it like intruder, how you can perform different types of attack using intruder, right? How you can use the payloads like OTP attack, brute force attack, directory attack. Okay, all the types of attack you can do using intruder like brute force attacks. Okay, and how to make good reports, like the bug bounty roadmap, what is a proper recon process for bug hunters, like how you can proceed with the recons, how to find the target, which target you should go first, everything like and the web application vulnerabilities. Then we have some bonus content as well, like CV hunting, Google Docs, exploit and CV research. Okay, so if you are interested and if you want to enroll, you can enroll to our live advanced web application pen testing course. Okay, and apart from that, even in the upcoming months, we are going to launch the SOC, that is Security Operations Center training, and where you can learn all the real-time threat detection and responses, different tools you are going to learn in that. So you can learn for the SOC training as well. And then apart from that, we are going to launch an advanced Android application and bug bounty hunting training as well, where we are going to perform the penetration testing and the bug bounty hunting over the mobile application. Okay, so let's move on to the parameter tampering. So basically parameter tampering is a attack where an hacker modifies hidden parameter in the URL or maybe in the request or in the form or the API request to bypass security, access restricted data, or to exploit them. Example, how does it work? Like consider if there is an online shop website, then you can make a payment on one of the item on the website. Then you find a parameter like this, like consider abc.com slash checkout slash item id equals to 1 and cost is 1000. Now consider if you are changing this particular cost from 1000 to 1, what will happen is it may lower the price and you will able to buy that particular product with that particular customized price. Okay, so that is called as web parameter tampering. Example 2, like consider if there is some parameter on the redacted.com, the following parameter is considered like user equals to 1 and status is read. So you can change the status or you can change the user like from 1 to 2, and it might be possible that you will be able to view the data of the user too. The attacker can modify the parameter using other values for the user, like its status, like from read to delete. So you might be able to delete that particular that particular user or whatever actions you are trying to do. Okay, let's see the vulnerability. Okay, since the parameter tampering is a crucial bug, so I cannot cover it on the live training for now. Okay, but I will show you a POC. Okay, so basically it's a vulnerability which I found on the techdigital.com, from where even I reported that particular vulnerability. It got fixed and they even rewarded me with one watch. Okay, from them. So basically what I found here is it's a very unique vulnerability. Okay, so basically I didn't temper the price here. I will show you what I did is, so basically when I went to the particular site, it have a product, like consider we have Liberty Dots at the price of 2799. So let's go to cart. Now you can see here the price. What we'll do is we'll intercept the request and we'll click on the proceed to checkout. Now you can see here the quantity parameter. So rather than manipulating the price parameter, what I am changing is I am changing the quantity parameter from 1 to 0.001. So what will happen is it will reduce the product price. So you can see here now my quantity has become 0 and the price has changed to 2.8 rupees. Now if I will pay this 2.8 rupees, so let's proceed to checkout. Again I am going to change the quantity, that is 0.001, and let's forward the request. So it has become 0.28. Let's again change it to 0.0001. Most probably I am going, okay, false. let's see. So it has become 0.003. Let's click on proceed to checkout, online payment. So you can see here we have received an error, that is the amount has mismatched. Okay, 160 transaction amount. Let's edit again. So I think it's due to this 0 point. Okay, so at least we need like maybe from 1 rupee, like 5 rupees or 10 rupees. So let's again modify it to 0.01 and let's see. I think it will be around 27 rupees. Okay, now let's proceed with the online payment, and it will allow us to pay the amount, that is 27.99. Okay, again I have made it to 2.8 rupees and I am going to pay it via UPI. Okay, most probably. So I have paid the 2.8 rupees via UPI and the order will be successful. Okay, let's wait. Okay, just a minute. Let me go back again. So similarly, if there is some price parameter, we can temper that also. So you can see here the order has been successful, and thank you so much for shopping with us, right? Similarly, on over one more site, like consider it's a Nesty, where we have to pay the application fees, okay, which is a exam application fees. Okay, so here as well I found the similar vulnerability where I was able to temper the price. So basically I will just click on make payment. You can see the payment is 400 rupees. I made it to 1 rupees, and when I forward the request, you can see here basically here we do have a checksum, but it is not properly validating the amount, okay, whether it is tempered or not. So even with this particular transaction amount 1, I was able to proceed with the checkout page without any error, and I can pay this 1 rupees to pay the fee amount successfully. So this is what called as parameter tampering. Okay, so what are the prevention of the parameter tampering? Like, don't rely on control which depends on the browser. Like, they should have some kind of server side validation. Like if there is only client side validation, maybe a attacker can temper that validation and can do a successful tempering. Okay, so then don't depend on the client validation and stored in the browser. When the product is added to the cart, calculate MD5 sum or any hash, so they should have some kind of hash, and for the total request and compare with the backend, so that if any manipulation happen, like consider if somebody have manipulated any parameter in that particular request, so server will throw an error that hash check mismatch. Okay, so validate input for improper characters in the data type. Especially for this case, we can keep a check for quantity with negative range. Like consider they should keep a range from 1 to 10. Like, okay, so they should have some maximum quantity by amount and the minimum, so that nobody can define the value like a 0 or maybe 0.1 or something. Always define the maximum as well as the minimum value that the application will accept. Otherwise what will happen is, if something goes out of the box, like consider it's a 1000 or something, application might throw some unexpected errors. Okay, so where we can test this particular bug is like order management flows. So basically price manipulation during order placement, shipping address manipulation after order placement, absence of mobile verification for cash on delivery orders, getting cash back returns even when the order is cancelled, known deduction of discount even after order cancellation. Like these are the e-commerce bug testing. Okay, so client side validation bypass for maximum seat limits on a single order, right? Like consider if there is an maximum seat limit is 2 or maybe 10, and if you are able to purchase 15 seat limits, so that is also a business logic issue called parameter tampering. Like booking reservation using fake information, using of burner disposable phone for verification, coupon and reward management flows. Like if you are able to use a coupon 2 times, like consider race condition. By using race condition, if you are able to use the coupon multiple times for the same transaction, bypass of coupon validity, like you have able to buy using an expired coupon, or maybe you are able to change the price of the coupon or maybe the percentage. Like consider if a coupon is of 10% or 15%, and if you are able to change it. Payment gateway integration flow, like price modification at the client side with zero or negative value, price modification at the client side with varying price value. Like sometime it allows that you won't be allowed to put it as 0, so it might be possible that you are allowed to put like at the place of 1500 you are able to put 150. Manipulating the correct URL. So manipulating the correct URL in the sense, sometime what will happen when you manipulate the price, server might throw an error like check some mismatch error or some other error that the price has been manipulated. So what you can do is you can manipulate your price in different URLs. Okay, so there might be possible that multiple requests will be going to the server. Or okay, so you can try to manipulate the price in different request. Okay, so it might be possible that some request might be having the check, but it might be possible that other request might doesn't have the check. Okay, so changing the price before the transaction is completed. Okay, so that also you can do. So any doubts anyone have or any questions? Okay, one more thing for the webinar completion certificate. We'll send you the flag by email, so you can submit that particular flag and generate your certificate. Okay, so if you didn't have registered over here, you do register over here for the certificate, and you can get your certificate. Okay. Okay then, thank you for your participation.